Hey everybody, what's up? Big Jason here. Special guest today on the Breakthrough Email Marketing Show, Carl Pico. What's up, Carl?
Hi Jason, very pleased to be here. Hello
Thanks
everybody.
for coming on. Today's show is about smacking your emails in the face. You know, we get complacent, we send the same type of emails all the time, we don't switch things up. And sometimes it's good to get a smack in the face. If you saw my promo, you saw a picture of me getting smacked in the face by a pole, walking home on a dark street in Mexico after I was shopping at Walmart. And fortunately, you guys don't have to go through that. I went through that for you. So today we're going to briefly talk about some simple ways to, smack your emails in the face, get response back up to where it was or where it could be. We did things a little differently. And then I'm also going to answer any of your questions. If you're live with us, if you want to chat in real time, because Google Hangouts has a delay, why don't you open up Skype and enter this URL into your browser. It's going to automatically add you to the private Breakthrough Email Marketing Skype group so you can chat in real time, ask questions, just don't post links and promote stuff. No chit-chat, strictly for discussing the show and asking questions. All right, so open up Skype and enter in breakthroughemailmarketing.com/Skype. Breakthroughemailmarketing.com/Skype, and that's after you have Skype open, automatically put you in there. Let me check. All right, cool. So smacking your emails in the face. So a simple way is just check in your inbox, and I'm assuming you're on the list of all your competitors or just other people in your space. And so you're looking at your inbox, and you should be able to see what your target prospect or target customer is seeing. So what is everybody else doing? Are they doing short blind emails? Are they putting in really lame subject lines, like trying to trick them that it's a personal email, like hey and OMG and bad news? Really blind curiosity emails versus self-interest emails, like what's in it for them? 3 simple ways to increase the revenue from your blog post, something like that. So I've seen that in a lot of clients. I look at their competitors; they're all doing that, and how you can stand out is to be more specific. What's in it for them? Not just jump up and down trying to get their attention, but use a combination of attention and interests. You have the AIDA formula: attention, interest, desire, action. A lot of people, when it comes to emails, they think the subject line is only attention. Not true. A lot of split tests that I've done, a lot of split tests that MechLabs has done, is attention plus interest in the subject line gets the best bang for the buck. What do you think, Carl?
I agree totally. If I look through my own emails today, it's funny you've mentioned it. I didn't open one apart from yours because they all look so bland. They're all internet marketing related, and they're all either trick emails or offer ending soon. The same rehashed type of subject lines that go through all the promos, just doing the cycle, and you just look at it and become numb to it.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Even if I try to use curiosity, typically I never make it blind. I have in some niches, but like today it was like smack your emails in the face. Emails is very specific because anybody that's on my list is interested in email marketing. All right, next thing. Again, if you have any questions, ask as many as you want, and I'll answer them. Based on what I'm talking about, what me and Carl are talking about, or anything about email marketing in general. Excuse me, I'm having some yerba mate tea. Since we have Carl, who's British, thought I'd have some tea today in honor of him.
What's this?
And all Brits alike. Have you ever had yerba mate tea?
Have I read it? No, I don't actually know what it is. You just have normal standard. We call it Tetley over here, or PG Tips.
Yeah, it's what Tim Ferriss recommends.
Yeah.
and I put some grass-fed butter, some cinnamon, and a tiny dash of coconut milk, and tastes really good. It's supposed to be really good for you, as opposed to drinking coffee all the time.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Anyways, let's get back to email. All right, so adding personality to your emails. Are all your competitors or your prospects used to seeing really plain looking emails? You know, a lot of people are deceived into thinking that plain text emails or plain text looking HTML emails get better deliverability. Not true, never been true. You can add personality. You can add a lot of personality based on how you write your emails, but the question is, can you add as much personality as you know, including a personal picture, a picture of you and your pet, you and your family? In my opinion, I don't think so, just based on the response I've gotten. And I was fortunate that I started in 1996, so I didn't have anybody telling me BS like, oh, make sure you never use images, or don't do this, or don't do that. But I just was trying to have a personal one-on-one conversation. And I know in life that, you know, people share images. They want to show off their, you know, their pet, their kids, their nephews and nieces, all that good stuff. And so that's one way you can smack your emails in the face, is actually connect to your list on a personal, deeper level versus, you know, you're just a number to me. You're just, you know, dollar per subscriber. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not just on signatures. Just now I was talking more about signatures, but also versus storytelling. I had a really popular email that made a lot of money where I talked about the results of increasing the response to your emails, especially affiliate promos, was going on trips. And I told a story about where I was able to gift my oldest nephew, Eric, for his high school graduation, a 4-day all-expenses-paid trip to Mexico with me. And we were playing with the dolphins and all that, so I included an awesome picture of us swimming with the dolphins. Now, could I have just talked about it and painted a really beautiful picture of us playing with the dolphins? Sure. But it's just not going to connect. It's really not going to give them an accurate picture. Now, obviously, depending on the emails you're writing, you can leave it up to the reader to imagine a scenario in your head. But stuff like that, it really helps them see what you're talking about and really envision what it could be like for them if they see it, how you experience it.
Can I add something to that, Jason?
What was that, Carl?
I wouldn't mind adding something to that. Another one of the very early emails I received from you, I remember it. It had a picture of.
You're breaking up a little bit. Can you say that again?
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay?
Maybe lift up your mic a little bit. I don't know.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I remember reading an email of yours once, and it had a picture of you. You'd crashed into a cactus. Remember that?
A cactus? Oh, it was a bush with sharp branches that was in my way, impeded my progress, and I smacked it out of the way, and it came roaring back. It snapped back, and like it slit my wrist and cut my hand.
That's what, didn't it hit you in the face or something?
Huh?
I'm sure there was one when you had a great bump on your nose there. Was that the same one?
Yeah, that's the one I sent today.
Oh, right.
That's the poll. I even said in the email that it was the poll.
Right, I've got you.
And what about it?
So I'm just remembering it, because the one I remember was from quite some time ago. I had a picture of you in a car that crashed into this great big tree thing. I thought it was quite a striking image.
Yep. Really doesn't tell the story unless you actually see it. It can have a great bigger impact. One person says in the chat, another common email headline opener is, unless you've been living under a rock. He finds this very negative and not something I would use. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty common. So that's another thing you can look for is people, using the same thing as everybody else over and over again. Another one is that you can notice is there's a lot of BS going on about longer emails work better than shorter emails. BS. Longer emails can work better than shorter emails depending on why you're emailing them, what you're promoting. But the statement that longer emails work better is total BS. The thing you have to realize about longer emails, an authority figure, someone that has gotten a lot of their lists from people saying, hey, if you have background noise, can you mute yourself, Carl?
Yeah. It's my it's just my little thingy moving. I'll mute it though.
Yep. So the statement that longer emails work better is not true. And I've actually have a testimony from someone who thought shorter emails work better than longer emails, which isn't true either. And he tested my longer email and he made more sales. But even then, I still don't say longer emails work better. Sometimes they do. And a thing that, like I was saying, authority figures, what they got going on for them is they have a lot of people, third-party credibility, saying, hey, go check out this guy. He's a genius. You got to listen to what he says. So he's got some built-in credibility. So people are interested in what they have to say, kind of like John Carlton. So people have a little more leeway, a little more patience. They'll put up with more friction, which friction occurs in the mind, and the length of the email can have a negative effect on response. But if you're like John Carlton, people will put up with that friction, the length of the email, more than, say, Joe Blow, who just started online, who hasn't developed a good relationship or a great relationship with the list yet. So they can wait a little longer to get to the point. Now, can you? Is your subscriber going to be, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this crap. Get to the point, and they leave. All right? And there is a way that you can do both. You can have a longer email, but give people a good reason to read is state up front what the email is about. And then you can say something like, but first I want to tell you about blah, 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 but you've already told them what to expect, so they're a little more apt to read the rest of the email. All right? And Gary Halbert if-then statements are really good for that too. All right, next. Grabber images. That's the perfect example of what you could do at the start of your email without even saying anything and get people's attention. Typically, the grabber images that I like to use is, for instance, today, smack your emails in the face. And then the very top is a grabber image of me getting smacked in the face. There's bruises all over my top right here. Okay? So that's a very attention-grabbing image. And then I start converting that to interest right from the get-go. And some other examples that I've done for clients is, you got a lot of background noise, Carl, is basketball. All right.
I'm muted, Jason.
I know, it could be me. So I'm going to put in my headphones, which I should have done already. Again, if you're joining us late, go ahead and join us on Skype for real-time chat. Carl, try now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, you're still a little shaky, but I think the background noise is fixed.
Yeah. For me, it was because I was moving my headphones around. That's what the noise was.
Don't do that no more. Just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, so again, if you're joining us, if you want to Skype in real time in the private Breakthrough Email Marketing Skype group, go to breakthroughemailmarketing.com/Skype. It'll automatically add you to the private Skype group. Don't promote, don't put links, no chit chat. All right, so like I was saying, grabber images. And some of you on this list have seen it. I start off with a picture of some bunny rabbits, and it's got combined with a response to one of my emails I wrote for a client. It's got the actual revenue amount, which you don't see a lot, and it's got some personalization in there, and that's the very start of the email. So that's something I've done for a basketball client. They want to increase their vertical. So the first image is this prospect jumping up and slam dunking. It's an animated image. You can use animated images as well. Don't listen to the BS about animated images. They work fine. I think Outlook will show the first frame, so keep that in mind. But everybody else, they should show them. So not a big deal. But what type of images? So like I just said, for basketball, a jumping product, jump higher, you could use the actual product owner or a prospect. Now what's going to be better? The product owner, he's played professionally, he's got world-class trainers. That might not be the best versus showing an actual prospect doing it after using the product. So you got to keep that in mind. Animated images. The key is you want to choose a powerful image that demonstrates what your reader wants to accomplish. What do they want the most? And demonstrate that. So those are good grabber images. It sets your emails off from your competitors. Another one was a mole remover. So I had a before and after, this really nasty mole. Actually, there we go, right there. And then it went half away, and then it went completely away. That was a really good grabber image. And where do I get the term grabber image? That's from Gary Halbert. He used to talk about grabber images on direct mail sales letters, like a little bag of sand for a real estate promo, a penny for investment advice, newsletters, the dollar bill, $2 bill, stuff like that. So that's another way to make your email stand out. And I kind of I always refer back to this. Kevin Halbert once said that pretend your subscribers have to pee. Same thing. Now again, if you build up a good relationship, if you give them a little tease of what to expect, what's in it for the email, you don't have to do so much at the top. But generally speaking, even me, I like to give it a little something up top to get even more, because I think even a lot of quote-unquote experts, they throw a lot of money away by just assuming that the majority of the list is going to go through the blah, blah, blah until they get to the point. Now, are there highly motivated users going to do that? Yeah, more likely than not, they'll have a greater tendency to do that. But if they're already your motivated users, if they've already bought your products, if they're already raving fans, who cares? You should be targeting the people that haven't converted yet, who haven't turned into customers or raving fans. So I would target those people more. So still, long emails can work better than short emails, but not necessarily in every case. So keep that in mind as you're trying to smack your emails in the face and figure out how to increase the response. All right. Any questions? Got a good question. What about B2B? Same thing. I recently did a B2B. It was a first class and business class comparison site. So they book the tickets for you. They do all kinds of crazy stuff with air miles and rerouting trips to get the best first class or business class airfare. And same thing. I was adding images of all their flight staff looking really good in the office, because that's the big thing is people think that they're talking to some foreign country, getting scammed. So we put in a nice friendly picture of all their staff that are in their San Francisco offices. So that's another big thing that they're real people in America, in San Francisco. Specificity, answering objections. Because their emails were the reason why I did that, because their emails were real corporate. They didn't really answer objections. That was part of their value proposition, is the differentiator between all the other people. Everybody was doing the exact same thing, so I added a lot of personality, made the emails from an actual person. And then I used some images of an actual rep at their desk talking to someone. All right, any other questions? Today's going to be pretty brief because I've got the email summit 4 days this week here in Las Vegas at the Aria Hotel. Monday, I've got the email messaging optimization workshop. Tuesday, Wednesday, the 2 days of the email summit. It's my 10th year in a row since 2006. And then on Thursday, I've got the online testing workshop. And I've also got to pick up Tony Flores, my good buddy, big time A+ copywriter. He's coming in for his first email summit, wants to up his email game. So pretty busy. I got to work out. I got to prepare. I'll be doing Hangouts every single day this week. Monday, it's going to be at 4 o'clock. Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be at 5 o'clock. And Thursday is going to be at 4 o'clock. So every day after each day of the summit, I'm going to be doing a Hangout and having some special guests on, talking about what I learn each day, what Tony learns each day, answering questions. So definitely look out for an email for that. And hopefully Carl and Ken and Daniel and Tony and maybe even Sam Markowitz might be on. How important is it for storytelling in emails from Jen? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. It definitely works big time. I tell a lot of stories. Like I said, it depends. Every single time, then you're going to be in the same boat, Banner blindness, story blindness. Just, you want to switch it up. But definitely stories help connect and, convert. I would always put clarity above persuasion, kind of like what Dr. Flint says in MECLabs. People are always trying to worry about becoming, this Jedi email copywriter when they just need to be clear. I believe Andre's got a course coming up on Hollywood storytelling that I'm going to be taking. Yeah, that's a good point. Arn Finn. How do you say your name? Or do you have a nickname? So, with longer emails and long text in general, my opinion is that you have to put some extra work on the visual readability and highlight the important points so the text targets both those that go through all the text and those that short read. Excellent point. Some ways you can do that are bullets, some much shorter sentences than the normal blocks of text. So if you're using the same length of short paragraphs throughout the entire thing, people are going to miss some things. And then there's also what MECLabs calls point first. So if you're using longer paragraphs and your most important point is in the middle or the end, actually in the middle, it could get lost. And same thing with, a longer email, some important points might get missed, like Arnfine. Oh, I pronounced it correctly. Great. Arnfine says is you gotta make it more readable. So bullets, vary up the sentence length. Some bolding, sparingly used, and then also your call to action. So, like Arnfine says, some people are going to be skimming. So if you end the email with just go here or check it out here, why? they may have missed the most important reason why. So I like to always wrap it up at the very end, repeat the subject line. That's another reason why I go to the Mech Labs email summits, is because recently in Russell Brunson's book, I believe, on some split test results, he was talking about repeating the subject line in the call to action. And I was like, that's good advice, but it's 5 years too late. If you've been paying attention to Mech Labs, you would have known that a lot sooner and increased the response to your click-through rates and sales a lot sooner. Well, that's a good point, Arnfine. Carl wants to know, what's the best way to get your new customers to know, like, and trust you? Like the quickest way to get to know them so people like people who are like them. Storytelling, like Jen was saying, is a good way. And yeah, story, if you were like them, like me, I can't tell a story about what it's like to be, struggling and not knowing how to write emails or anything like that, because I started off pretty well. Like I said, 1996, about.com. I was an exercise guy. They basically just said, hey, have a one-on-one conversation. I was like, oh, okay. And so that's what I did. It worked really well. And then, I got to know Gary Halbert and Mech Labs and started doing it even better. So I've always tried to do better. And that's what the email summit this week is about, is smacking me in the face and getting more ideas, more split test ideas. 1 second, Sam Markowitz. Halbert seeing IG is pinging me. All right, he wants to know what all the shenanigans are for the Hangouts during the week. So yeah, so you want to relate to them. You want to put it in a story where they relate to you and your condition and how it relates to where they are and what they could be. And again, adding that personality, connecting with them on a personal level. All right, any other questions? Got a little bit more time. Again, be looking out for an email with the registration link for this week's Hangout. It's going to be recapping what I learned at the email summit. There's not going to be any replays, so you want to try and make every single time. 4 o'clock p.m. PST on Monday and Thursday, and 5 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday. That's Pacific. So 4 p.m. is 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. EST, and 5 p.m. PST is 7 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. EST. So mark that on your calendar, set your alarm. Going to be recapping what I learned personally, what Tony learned, and taking your questions. Anything else to add, Carl?
Not really. You said most of it. I'd say one thing. Would you encourage people to reply back to your emails?
Yes, definitely. You can just simple, so what do you think? Question mark, or thoughts, or reply and let me know what you think. Reply and let me know that you received this. Just wanted to check to see Would that be okay with you? Reply and let me know. You know, simple things like that. Replies a lot more important nowadays for deliverability. And what I just did is actually I put in Big Jason at emailresponsewarrior.com as an alias on my Gmail account because it forwards to my Gmail account. So when people reply to my emails, when I click reply, Gmail automatically makes it from Big Jason at emailresponsewarrior.com, which is good too because then Gmail sees that it's a two-way conversation and gets you bonus points for getting into the inbox. So it builds rapport, increases the relationship.
Yeah, because I remember the last show you did on deliverability mentioned that, so I thought it'd be worth bringing up.
Yep.
Definitely.
Well, Ken was supposed to be a guest on today's show, but he was having issues. So hopefully he can make one of the other ones on this week. All right, it looks like that is going to do it. So, Carl, thanks for joining, and hopefully I'll see you, on one of those or all the Hangouts Monday through Thursday.
Right, thanks for having me, Jason. Thank you very much. Thanks for the questions, everybody.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. And Carl, where can they go to get more info on you and check you out?
They check the blog out, which is just carlpico.com, or they can go directly to a product which is the Millionaire Copywriting Mastermind.com. Just Millionaire Copywriting Mastermind.com. That's with
awesome.
The product with Carlton and Therio.
Right. What about Facebook?
Facebook is just Carl Pico, just my name.
Facebook.com/Carl Pico.
Yeah, but I think it's Carl.Pico, isn't it?
I don't know. All right, so Carl.Pico or Carl Pico. All right, man. I will talk to you soon. Talk to everybody else, and I'll see you on the next Hangout.
Thanks, Jason.
See ya.
Bye.